The girl was playing with her friend's hair when suddenly her fingers stiffened. Her friend cried out in pain. "What happened?" the girl asked, panicked. "I don't know," her friend replied, tears streaming down her face. "My fingers feel like they've turned to ice." As the girls screamed in terror, their fingers began to freeze solid, turning into blocks of ice that crunched with every movement. Their cries for help echoed through the empty street, but no one came to rescue them. In the distance, a man chuckled at the girl's misfortune. "Looks like we're gonna have some fun tonight," he said with a wicked grin. But what exactly did he have planned? Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling lake, there lived two best friends, Maya and Alex. They were inseparable. One warm summer evening, the girls were sitting on a tree stump in the forest near their homes, weaving flower crowns for each other. The air was filled with the sweet scent of wildflowers and the sound of birdsong. Suddenly, Alex noticed something strange. "Maya, look," she exclaimed, pointing to a clearing ahead. "Do you see that?" Maya followed her gaze and gasped. In the clearing stood a magnificent frozen palace made entirely of shimmering ice. It seemed almost magical, like something straight out of a fairy tale. Curious and excited, the girls decided to investigate further. As they approached the palace, they noticed tiny shards of ice embedded in the ground around it, sparkling like diamonds in the sunlight. The sight was breathtaking. "It's beautiful," Maya whispered, awestruck by the frozen wonder before them. "I wonder who built this," Alex replied, her eyes wide with wonder. Just then, a man emerged from behind the palace. He was tall and handsome, with an enigmatic smile and piercing blue eyes. "Welcome, my dear children," he greeted them warmly. "I am the Iceman, and this is my palace, made of enchanted ice. You must be very brave to venture so close." The girls exchanged nervous glances. Despite their initial fear, curiosity got the better of them. "How did you get here?" the Iceman asked, his voice like the tinkling of ice crystals. "We found this place by accident," Alex replied cautiously, "and we couldn't believe our eyes. It's so beautiful." The Iceman's smile widened. "I'm glad you appreciate its beauty, but it's not safe here. You should leave quickly." Maya and Alex hesitated. "But why?" Maya asked, confused. "This place is dangerous," the Iceman warned. "And if you stay too long, you may never leave." Before the girls could respond, the Iceman gestured for them to follow him deeper into the palace. Intrigued and a little apprehensive, Maya and Alex followed the mysterious Iceman into the depths of his frozen palace. They marveled at the glistening ice formations that sparkled in the dim light. As they ventured further, the temperature dropped, and frost began to form on the windows. The girls huddled closer together, feeling a sense of unease. The Iceman stopped abruptly, turning to face them with a sly grin. "Now, my dear children," he said, his voice echoing in the vast space. "It's time for you to become part of my frozen kingdom." Before the girls could react, the Iceman waved his magic wand, and suddenly the floor beneath them cracked, plunging them into a deep, icy chasm. As the girls fell, they screamed in terror, their voices echoing through the frozen palace. The Iceman watched with amusement, his laughter echoing ominously. When the girls finally landed, they found themselves in a dark and freezing chamber. Shivering uncontrollably, they struggled to get up. The Iceman approached, his eyes gleaming with triumph. "You can't leave now," he said, his voice dripping with malice. "You belong to me." With a wave of his wand, he trapped them within an ice cube. The girls cried out in despair, their pleas for help echoing in the cavernous chamber. The Iceman, pleased with himself, vanished, leaving the girls trapped in their icy prison. Meanwhile, outside the frozen palace, a group of villagers were searching for Maya and Alex. They had noticed the girls' absence and were growing worried. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the land, the villagers found the entrance to the Iceman's palace. "We have to do something," one of the villagers said urgently. "Those girls are in danger." But how could they help the trapped girls without risking their own lives? The entrance to the Iceman's palace was guarded by a thick layer of ice, and the only way to break it was with a powerful magic spell. The villagers huddled together, whispering and arguing. Finally, an old, wise woman stepped forward. "I know a spell that might work," she said, her voice raspy with age. "But it's dangerous, and I'll need your help." The villagers nodded, determined to save the girls, even if it meant facing the wrath of the Iceman. As the wise woman chanted the ancient words, a surge of magical energy pulsed through the air. The ice guarding the palace entrance shattered, revealing the glistening interior. The villagers gasped in awe and trepidation. The old woman took a deep breath. "Be careful," she warned. "The Iceman is powerful, and he will stop at nothing to protect his palace." With the danger now evident, the villagers hesitated, their determination wavering in the face of such a formidable challenge. But the thought of the two innocent girls trapped inside spurred them on. Taking a deep breath, they steeled themselves for the perilous journey ahead. Inside the palace, Maya and Alex were losing hope. They had been trapped for what felt like hours, and no one seemed to be coming to rescue them. The cold was seeping into their bones, and they could feel their body temperature dropping. Just when their spirits were at their lowest, they heard a sound that made their hearts soar. The villagers had entered the palace and were battling the Iceman's minions. Enraged, the Iceman confronted the villagers, his eyes flashing with fury. "How dare you intrude on my domain?" he roared. A fierce battle ensued, with the villagers wielding their weapons against the Iceman's ice creatures. The old woman, drawing upon her vast knowledge of ancient spells, countered the Iceman's attacks. The fate of the village and the trapped girls hung in the balance. As the battle raged, Maya and Alex watched in suspense. Suddenly, Alex noticed a small crack in their ice prison. "Look, Maya," she whispered, her voice trembling with excitement. "I think we can get out." With newfound determination, Maya and Alex put all their strength into pushing against the ice. The crack widened, and slowly they managed to free themselves from their icy bonds. Blinking, they emerged from the palace just as the villagers were defeating the Iceman's minions. The sight that greeted them was both exhilarating and terrifying. The once majestic frozen palace was crumbling into 1,000 pieces, the enchanted ice melting away into shimmering puddles. The villagers, exhausted but victorious, were tending to the wounded. And in the center of it all stood the defeated Iceman, his power broken and his body transformed into a mere mortal. Overcome with relief and joy, Maya and Alex rushed into the arms of their families and friends. The villagers celebrated their rescue, their voices echoing through the now warm summer night. As the days went by, the memory of the Iceman and his frozen palace faded into a chilling legend. A tale whispered around campfires to remind everyone of the dangers that lurked in the heart of winter. For Maya and Alex, the experience left an indelible mark, a reminder of friendship, courage, and the warmth of community in the face of unimaginable icy perils. And so life in the village returned to normal, the ordeal serving as a testament of hope over icy despair.